Crazy Scenario Fridays, guys. Crazy Scenario Friday. This one is for all our Uber drivers and our Lyft drivers that you are in a car driving, and you're driving Uber, Lyft, or cabbie, and of course your passenger goes a little crazy and starts attacking you. Let's go. Yay.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Okay guys, so here's the big thing. We are going to take these scenarios under two assumptions. The first assumption is that you've already stopped your car. We watched a lot of videos. Majority of these videos, the guys had stopped their car. The second thing we're going to assume is that you were caught by surprise. We will later on talk about situational awareness and keys and things to look at. But for right now, you were caught by surprise. Maybe you put your car in park and then this person started hitting you, or you're already parked, you turned your head and they automatically started punching you. My hands are on the car. He catches me with the sucker punch. Bang. Scary moment here. As long as I'm still conscious, I might be stunned, but as long as I'm still conscious, I need to start covering up. He's super close now. Boom. So I'm gonna cover up and make it difficult for him to hit me. We have what's called covering up, or the helmet, or you can actually just put your arms here so it's harder to punch you in the face, right? As I'm doing that, once I recovered, so I'm not gonna be here forever, but once I've recovered in my hands and I got it, I'm gonna start fighting back by throwing side hammer fists and palm heel strikes and getting good strikes. As long as I keep striking him, I'm confusing him. If I can in this moment, Matt has hair, I'm gonna apologize now, but now I'm gonna grab him by his hair. If he has hair, a hat or something, I'm gonna grab him by his hair and pull him down and control him. Now it's gonna be really hard for him to strike. I can now start hitting him from here. If I'm hitting from here, my absolute job is not to continue fighting with this guy, but to get out. But I have a problem. My seat belt is in the way. So as I'm striking, I'm gonna try to get my seat belt. Boom, boom. Once I got my seat belt out, if you guys can tell, it's already slid up. I just now have to get my arm out of the way. Matt, if you can move back. As soon as I got my seat belt up, it's an automatic thing. I push the button, it slides up. From here, same arm, as I'm striking and fighting back, or maybe even controlling him by his hair, I'm gonna open the door, and then I'm looking to exit. Am I gonna take some damage? Probably. It's not a guarantee that I'm gonna go unscathed. He may catch me with a decent punch again, but guys, the goal is to get out and go home. It's not to sit here and fight back and destroy this guy. I wanna get out and go home. So now as I'm striking and fighting, boom, I'm out, and I'm looking to get away. So scenario number two, guys, is this guy is now in the back passenger seat, right? Harder for him to strike you because now he has to sit up and get close to you, but harder for you to hit him too in that same sense. Once again, guys, nothing changes about what we have to address. And in Krav Maga, it's always the principles, but we got to address not the first punch, but everything after that. If I'm still awake and moving, then I got to cover up. Once I turn around, or once I've covered up, I got to start sending some strikes. So instead of elbows, I'm probably going to try to throw some hammer fists. Look, if I can grab the guy like I did in the first scenario and pull his head down, then I will. If I can grab him and pull him in towards me, I will. Not to hold him and control him, but instead to buy myself some time, because he's probably going to start fighting back, and I'm going to look to push the button on my seatbelt and escape. So once again, cover up, do something to get him backwards or bring him in. As he starts to drive back, I'm going to push the seatbelt, and then I'm going to get out. All right, scenario number two. Now, always safety first. Put your seatbelt on, guys. You never know. Craziness. All right. So scenario two, my attacker's now in the back passenger seat, which makes it a little bit harder as far as my strikes go. But now my hands are up. He throws that first punch, bang. As soon as I get hit, like before, I'm gonna cover up. Because of the angle of where he's throwing, I can cover up and now defend better, right? And in addition to that, as he's throwing these punches, I can now send back hammer fists to hit him, or if I can, trap his arm and bring him forward a little bit so I can send some strikes. Bang. As soon as I hit him and I feel him retreating back to get away, I'm trying to get my seatbelt off. Let him get back. I'm gonna push him back out the door, and I'm running. Guys, we have to get out. We just have to get out. We don't have to stay here and exchange and worry about the car and blah, blah, blah. That's when it's gonna get really bad for us. What I wanna do as soon as possible is get out of the car. So after he hits me and I am recovered, right, I'm gonna cover up and I'm gonna start sending strikes back, bang, bang. Hardly any of his strikes are hitting me. But as soon as, even from here, I'll undo my seatbelt and get out. But if I can, I'll catch that arm, bang, and I'll draw him forward and start sending strikes so I can get out. Always get out. Always, always, always. Let's get out. Scenario. He is behind me now, but he's hit me with the sucker punch. Yeah, okay. Matt just wants to hit me. Here's the thing. He's hit me with the sucker punch. There's one of the things that we have to make sure is that when I get hit with the sucker punch, if I'm still conscious, I need to cover up. What we tend to do is if somebody punches us, our hands will come up, but instead of our hands just coming up, we want to cover. So now if he throws another punch, it's now hitting my arm, right? But I'm blocking my vision on this. There's two things Matt has to do in this scenario. If Matt sits back and tries to throw a punch, it's not gonna really get close to me, so I'm gonna lean forward as much as I can. So that forces Matt to sit up. If he sits up and close and he throws these punches, I'm gonna start working my fight back. So I'm gonna throw elbows, bang. And if he falls back, that's great. If not, I'm still gonna throw these elbows and maybe some hammer fists. Notice now he's leaning backwards. As soon as he leans backwards, I'm looking to get out of my seatbelt. Now look, does it mean you're never gonna get punched again in this scenario? You may get punched. You may get punched 4, 5, 6 times. We wanna minimize damage. So my hands are gonna be up covering, and look, as best as I can, right now he's not hitting me, right? And then as best as I can, I'm gonna start unlocking my seatbelt. Boom. From here, I'm looking to get out. So I might throw some hammer fists to get him back, and then I'm turning and getting out of my car. As soon as I turn and get out of the car, I'm sprinting, right? He has a decision to make. He can stay in the car. I get to safety, I call 911. Very good chance he tries to run out of the car too. So really, in this scenario, it's the same as the other ones. I'm gonna cover as much as possible. It's gonna be harder to grab him now. In the other scenarios, if I can, I'll grab his hand and pull him in towards me. And now I can control his hand and start throwing elbows and strikes. Boom. My seatbelt's still on, trying to unlock my seatbelt. I want to control his hands, but I'm not going to take both of my hands in control. I'm going to grab one hand and start throwing the strike because his other hand is going to be hard for him to throw the punch from this angle. Look, he could try to go to the other side and he may catch me in the back of the head. I'm okay with that, but I'm controlling and hitting him here, not to control for the whole time. It's for a moment. I'm holding for a moment so I can get out of my seat. The seatbelt is just restricting me, right? As soon as I get out of the seatbelt, I'm looking to exit. So I'm getting that seatbelt off of me and getting out. Guys, last thing. Once again, all of this is scary and I get it. And we can throw all the craziness if he has a noose and a bat. But really, here's the thing I want you to start to understand. Situational awareness. While you're driving Uber, when somebody is getting too violent, they're getting loud, and your gut is telling you this is not going to turn out well. Don't be afraid to pull your car over, because we're talking about the scenario where the car is stopped. We're not talking about if the car has stopped. This gets even harder because now if he punches and strikes me while the car is driving, I got to somehow get out of the car, plus stop it, plus put it in park. So that adds an extra hardship to you. But Situational awareness is so important, guys. When the guy's next to you, if he's doing things that are tipping you off, like he's starting to smack his hands or get his hands ready, or if he's verbally getting abusive with you, like, oh really, oh what, why don't you do, always remember, you're in control of this. You can pull the car over at any time and say, look man, I don't need to take your fare, take another Uber car, take another cab. That's probably, that is the best thing to do. Make sure you're aware of what's going on, and as best as you can, either talk the situation down or get out of there. Just get out. Awesome, guys. Hey, just to let you know, we appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching our videos. If you do like our videos, guys, please click subscribe, and also leave comments, because that always helps with our algorithms. We put a lot of work into this, but it's for you guys, it's not for us, and we want to continue doing this because we have a lot of fun filming this, and we think this is great information for you.